And now Magneto is again the pure enemy, which is believable, as he now hates the humans more because of how they tortured him and almost wiped them all out, and he is now even a lot more sure, about the fact that the war's coming, while Xavier sees the possibility for growth, and so that cleverly goes back to the conflict of the first film. And Mystique tried to find out about this by sneaking in, which is clever and makes sense, as she is very good at sneaking the buildings, and also as it is important for them to know the government plans. But she's captured, creating tension of what will happen, and when the cure is made public, many people desperately want it, but others start protesting, and many see it as a cure, but others think that there's nothing to cure and that they are the next step of evolution, and this creates a really multi-layered conflict, because are mutants a natural process, and are what they have gifts, since they become unique, or are they cursed because it hurts them and it is a disease? Well, as it is a natural mutation, it seems as though they are the next step of life, but it can also be de-evolution, and in the end, for everybody, that's their own choice to make. But everybody is very extreme, and they start fighting each other, and it becomes very difficult for everyone to allow everyone else to make their own choice. And this is believable, as some people like being different, where others hate it. So some people want to be unique, and some think that differences are good, but it depends on the point of view. My point of view. And I will decide what is right. Like P6 is okay, and I know as someone with OCD should be grossed out by that, but it only makes it all the more fun. Oh, and the diversity story really exists. Need a bucket. And so the intolerance grows from how everybody is so afraid of what will happen to their cause that they start forcing their cause on others, as the others are doing to them, and as what they fear of the others. So that's very organic and three-dimensional. And really clever then also is that the government wants to make it voluntary, showing that the solution is allowing people to choose what makes them happy. Yet Magneto and the mutants want to destroy the cure, showing they are now terrorizing others. They want to force mutants to accept themselves and not choose who they want to be, and make the same mistakes as the humans. Yeah, Magneto. That is very left-winged of you. Look, what else do you expect me to do here? Yeah, okay, I'm getting a little bit repetitive, but come on, what else does today's material allow for? I mean, really, what else am I supposed to do here? And he and many evil mutants fear it will be forced, and at the same time don't want any mutants to be cured, so he wants to destroy it. But thereby himself is forcing his opinion on others, which is a really clever idea. And he recruits other fearful mutants, which makes for a really epic story with many mutants. And it makes sense they would fear it would be forced, as they are afraid humans will be tolerant, because they were a lot in the past. And Filmmaster Ratner complains that as they had a mutant in the cabinet and the president who understands mutants, Magneto is acting too paranoid, wanting to fight the cure. But the cure is also possible to be used to destroy all mutants, and they could just be keeping it a secret that they want to do that, as genocide has often been kept a secret in the past. And again, Magneto has all the right to be paranoid after everything that happened in X2, with him getting tortured and all the mutants almost being murdered. And yeah, he wanted to commit genocide over that, remember? He's kind of becoming extreme, and all the other mutants have experienced similar horrible things, so it's understandable that they've got a lot of difficulty believing the humans are now actually tolerant. Criticizing is him for being so unlikable, but that is the point of him growing worse as part of the escalating conflict. Oh, and he compares him to Hitler, again criticizing him for being too unlikable. Well, that is the point, he became what he was fighting. Oh, and also, yeah, he's a Holocaust survivor. He's completely understandable in being too paranoid. Yeah. And he uses the powers of one of the mutants, who can sense other mutants, to free Mystique by finding her, but someone uses the cure as a weapon and hits Mystique when they are being overwhelmed, and he's hit on the ground, but he still survives, who saves Magneto and becomes human, both which are believable, as a cure is the strongest weapon against mutants, so when you're being overwhelmed, you would use it to permanently make them no longer a threat, and the mutant could have the power to sense other mutants, as they can have any power, so this is very clever. And Magneto leaves her because she is no longer a mutant, which is a really dramatic twist, that someone is taking their powers of them against their will, and that is also part of their identity, and that the other mutants view it so much as a central part of who they are, and are so hypocritically prejudiced that they abandon her. And Magneto abandons the woman he loves because he prefers ideas over people, and so Magneto solely only values mutants. So much so that he only values the idea that they are mutants, not how well he knows them. He gets stuck in ideas. This is especially believable after he became so narrow-minded, because he was tortured in X2 and saw humans indeed wanted to exterminate mutants. As a result, wanted to kill all the humans. Filmmaster Adam complains about this because it was inconsistent with the comics. Well, it is a movie with its own continuity, and yeah, adaptations mainly need to work on their own continuity and mainly need to work on their own level, and you watch adaptations without checking the source material yourself, so there you go. You hypocrite. I don't know what you're thinking. Didn't you often act hypocritical? Yes, but I'm hypocritical about hypocrisy, and that is different. Why? Because I say so, and I'm never wrong. Except for... No, never. Confused Matthew complained about this, saying it took away Magneto's three-dimensionality by making Magneto not appreciate Mystique saving him. Well, because he doesn't care if some humans are nice. He thinks of all of them as insects, remember X2? And he mentions it was against Mystique's will she became human. Yeah. And so it is for all humans that they are human. It is against their will. Part of discrimination is not valuing choice. And also he would not be that narrow about humans. Then why did he call them insects in X2? Because he was friends with Xavier, who was a collaborator? Which would be worse. Well, that really depends, though, on your point of view, because, yeah, they betray your group, but they still are your family, where humans are an evil kind. Viewing collaborators as less horrible than your enemies is normal. Just look at the Prince of Egypt, how Ramesses reacted to Moses, who supported the Jews. He was less mean to him than to the Jews, and the Nazis treated Germanic war prisoners better than slavish and Jewish prisoners, or even slavish and Jewish people in their own nation. So him being friends with Xavier could perfectly fit into this racial thinking, which is solidified by him treating all humans as evil after having been tortured by Stryker and calling them insects and wanted to kill them all without exception after he saw that they wanted to kill all the mutants, while not killing any of the X-Men, including the ones he barely knew in X2. Remember that? He and Mystique didn't want to betray the X-Men even though they were collaborators. That is part of racial thinking. You value ideas over people and race over choice. He asks what Magneto is doing this for if he doesn't have any sympathy for the mutants that are victims of humans. Well, mutants that stay mutants, that is racial thinking. That is why if Germans got handicapped, Hitler wanted to have them killed, even World War I and later World War II veterans. That is where socialism gets you. Again, come on, I've little to work with here other than racial, left-wing discrimination, anti-right-winged, etc. contact. I mean, I'm doing valuable things. But no, that's no excuse. Weakness cannot be allowed. I need a break. I'm gonna get a drink. Yeah. I need more. That's the stuff. Anywho, where was I? Oh yeah. He complains Magneto would also Also he complains Magneto would therefore just be a bigot. Well, yes. He, like in X2, has become a full discriminator because he has grown to believe in superiority of mutants and hates the humans because of how much they hurted him and they almost killed everyone of his kind. But that doesn't mean he doesn't care for anyone, he cares for those who are still mutants. However, he values the group over the individuals, as fascist and Hitler as the people he hates, thereby creating dramatic irony, as he already did in the first film. And this means he has now become as Hitler and at his worst. Which is a smart parallel, and fits what happened in X2. He grew worse and worse for deep reasons, and became what he hated. Defensive bigotry became pure hatred. So this becoming more absolutely evil fits a complex change in his character and this for logical reasons. So he doesn't just become more one-dimensional, he gradually falls deeper, fitting the theme of escalation, and he still cares for the mutants' preservation, so this is still three-dimensional. So no, he isn't just a villain for the X-Men to fight. Though he is wrong to see collaborators as friends. That is why I broke up with Adolf Hitler, for how he treated the British prisoners. Okay, the Nazis were right-winged. Run! Run! They're on to us! Run! Hey, well at least they did make a good joke. Anywho, everybody evacuate! and uses this to garner more support and frees more mutants, now making for a really epic storyline. And it is logical he could free many mutants, as they are being transported in metal trucks, and he can control metal and now fight them all through a mutant who can sense other mutants, and thereby his gaining more mutants allows him to free even more mutants, who out of gratitude and vengefulness against the humans would join him. And he now has an army, and it's humongously strong, creating a lot of tension, and this is believable that mutants now being forcefully turned human would make mutants even more paranoid, as they now see this as a sign that the genocide is coming. And also we have the Phoenix storyline, and it's really dramatic that it turns out that there is a stronger mutant, Jean Grey, and that her powers saved her, but that she had an instinctive mental power-based personality which corrupted her, and that she saw herself as godlike and had no respect for others and endangered them, which is believable, of course. Females cannot be gods. Ridiculous. No, me. In my previous life, Alexander are gods. Yes. That is believable, of course, as mutant powers can, of course, also reach someone's personality, especially very strong powers, and these could make someone very arrogant, showing how dangerous corrupting powers can be. And it is believable having such strong powers would make her see herself as godlike, and that Xavier tried to bury this personality against her will because she didn't respect others and didn't want to learn to become wiser, and she was a danger for everyone with these strong powers, and she would probably even hurt herself and could never be happy or healthy this way, which is believable, as she basically did the same many mental institutions do, forcing people to be helped so they don't endanger themselves or others. And this is smart and clever, as indeed she would endanger herself and others and wouldn't voluntarily suppress her evil, so he would see little other choices, meaning he suppressed one person's mind to protect many, and maybe he also did so to protect that person herself. Captain Logan complains it is morally reprehensible to suppress someone's free will, especially when they are innocent. Yes, but Xavier did it out of compassion for mankind and was kind of trying to help her become wiser and be mentally healthy. And he didn't kill or drug her or anything. He's wrong, but he's compassionate and caring, and it is very a human mistake, because he was just really afraid she could destroy the world and herself. Yes, he causes the deaths of many people, but he tried to prevent that, and it is a really difficult situation. He made a human mistake. It is indeed dark, but there isn't anything wrong with that. It creates drama and tension. Dark stories are good. This was an ambiguous, complex plot twist. And then we have the complaint. It would mean that Jean Grey we knew was an artificial construction created by Xavier to keep the world safe. The real Jean Grey is essentially an evil force of nature, making her character very messed up. Well, first of all, so what that the personality she developed might be artificially created? She was still a real person after that, and she got a feeling soul she actually felt and had actual emotions, so she was still a deep and complex character. And second, she had a second personality created by powers, in that her evil side was a mutated personality, but she also had a real mind that was not suppressed, that was actually suppressed by the mutant powered one. So the good Jean Grey was a real natural person that was simply freed of the control of her other stronger side. Yes, it is dark, she's such a corrupted person, but again, what is the problem?